another episode of the Audio Audacity podcast, episode 22. Today's episode is sponsored by Gia Turner Realtor. Now is the time to buy because interest rates are low, historically low. Gia has a team that includes a credit manager to help you clean your credit legally and a finance manager to help you get the new home based on the credit you got. So let them get you in your dream home today, right now, ASAP, like yesterday. And it's also a seller's market. So now is the time to sell your property and get top dollar for your home or your land and bring in a nice profit. So call Gia today. That's GIATURNER, Realtor and Associate by Berkshire Hathaway Home Services. I'm drinking too fast. Contact her at 314-323-1589 or at www.homesbygiaturner.com. And then, if your credit is messed up and you can't get a home,
bad credit won't fix itself. If your credit score starts with a 3, 4, 5, or 6, you suck. No, they can remove student loans. They can remove student loans, collections, repossessions, liens, bankruptcies, inquiries, and charge-offs. So, and nobody out there is offering what Paradigm Credit Systems has to offer, a 100% money-back guarantee. Who does that? So please give Paradigm Credit Services a call today on their nationwide number, 314-239-1781, or www.paradigmcreditsystems.com. Spell it with me, people. PARADYMECREDITSYSTEMS, allrantogether.com.
Covering every city and state except Georgia and Atlanta. Too many schemes and scams.
Too many scammers.
And that's real.
That's the truth.
So today's episode is episode 22 of the Audio Audacity podcast. And today we have a good friend of mine. I met this brother during COVID. He was part of my first podcast initially with the Freaks of the Industry. And he's a very, very, very intelligent, very interesting brother, and hopefully you guys will get a chance to know him like I did starting today. We have with us today, ladies and gentlemen, we have Klevah Shaw in the building.
How's everybody doing? Your favorite producer's favorite producer, Klevah with the exclamation point.
Okay.
One half of the Say Less podcast, Say Less motherfucking podcast, excuse me.
With Louis Chops.
With Louis Chops, of course, my
guy. Yep.
I seen how y'all was throwing off each other on the sponsorship. I was like, look at them being all professional and stuff.
Because that's what we
spell it with me.
We're trying.
That's
we're trying.
19 years figuring it out.
It's amazing because when we first started the Freaks of the Industry podcast, me, you, and Madam Coleman, we didn't. Well, I know you had more experience in it than we did. We just. It was something to do. It was fun.
I mean, that was a fun show.
Yeah.
That was definitely a fun show.
Shout out to Monty J, our Fairy Pod Mama, because by us putting on her show randomly, the show was a 3-hour show, cut into 2 pieces, and we had a ball. And we had so many stories to tell, and so many. We had started with different situations, and then he had a chance to even finish answering them because we was just so.
Many of them just going.
Just going.
That's what's up. And shout out to Monica, man.
Yeah, shout out to Monty. Shout out. And in the process of doing so, I got a chance to meet this young brother, and I really had a chance to follow him on IG, on Facebook, and befriend young man. And he has created a lot of the shirts for the old podcast. He's created the beat for this podcast.
Hey.
The brother is good. And allow us right now to introduce one more time Klevah with the exclamation point in the building. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time.
Thank y'all for having me, man. Thank y'all for having me.
Yeah, sure. The podcast wouldn't be the same without you. And the reason why I say is because you have so many things going on right now in a positive sense. Besides being your father of 2 lovely young women, young girls who are going to be young women.
Yeah.
You do production, you do beats, you do a podcast, you make custom shirts. I mean, man, you like you got Jamaican in your blood.
Can you make Dr.
I just like all things creation. You know what I'm saying? I like to create anything. But music is my passion. So that's always gonna be the wife. I look at all of the other things like my side chicks. The list of side chicks. So the custom apparel and stuff like that. That's a side chick.
Right.
custom decals and stuff for your walls, side chick. You know what I'm saying? But the music is always A1, number one. Of course, the kids come first. You know what I'm saying? So definitely shout out to the mini Charles. But yeah, everything creation, man. That's just what I like to do. So now I'm starting to get into the crafting side of things. I think I'm getting old now. You know what I'm saying? Pushing 40, so I'm starting to break the popsicle sticks out.
Pushing 40 is old.
Hobby Lobby is about to be his next.
Nah, Hobby Lobby already there. That's I'm already in.
And Michael's.
Right. They sent me some emails today for my coupons.
Oh, Michael's.
But nah, pushing 40 ain't necessarily old, but you know what I'm saying? It's just, I think when you born in the 80s, anybody born in the 80s understands that it just feels like we old, but we not really old.
Right.
We just saw a lot of stuff happen between then and now.
Right.
Because
there was a time when we were growing up, even though I was born in the 70s, I grew up around a lot of 80s babies, but we were around before the internet.
Yeah, all of that.
You know, all that. We saw...
For phones, for cell phones and all that shit.
Yeah, so we got a chance to see the future become the future.
What it is, yeah. I was popping in VHS tapes, having to rewind them and shit like that. All that whole little spiel. My kids would never understand.
They won't get it.
Rewind
so
and blockbuster
the
tape.
first things first, my brother. So where did the name Klevah come from?
Came from my grandmother. So what she used to always say is that I had a way with words, a way with getting myself out of trouble, getting myself out of shit. So she's just always be like, you just think you so clever, don't you? You just get whatever you want to do, you know. So I was like, After one of my many name changes near high school, I was like, we just going to go with Klevah. We're going to put the exclamation point at the end of it. And I was like, we're going to spell it like, with a K. So Klevah.
Nice.
And keep it simple and funky. So I've just been Klevah ever since then. So it was probably around 8th grade up until now.
So when did you realize you had a thing for music?
That was early on. My whole family's musical. So learned how to play piano by ear initially. When I got to middle school, then I learned how to read and write music. And stuff like that. So doing a lot of scoring and stuff like that. But no, I just didn't know that I wanted to produce until maybe around high school. I just knew I wanted to do something with music. I didn't know what it was. My first goal was probably to be the first black conductor at the St. Louis Symphony.
Oh, wow.
And I completely dropped that shit real quick. I was like,
you got to do a lot of...
You got to do a lot of extra shit you don't really necessarily want to do.
Yeah, I know.
And then, like I said, it just went into production with one of my early best friends. He was rapping. And was doing a little time period that I was rapping too, so we had a little group, and then I was doing the production, and I just fell in love with doing the production. And then around the time, I think it would be probably 7th, 8th grade when Timbaland came out with Up Jumps the Boogie.
Ooh, yeah.
And that was the track that made me say I'm finna start producing.
Right.
Like for real. Like this is where I'm gonna put my focus in. Everything that I'm doing is centered and geared around production.
I love it. And you said, I know recently you went to the Beats and Vibes.
Yeah, I had a set at the Beats and Vibes. That was pretty cool.
Handlebar.
The Handlebar. It's always good vibes. Shout out to Madman for having me on that show. It's always a good time, you know.
Yeah. How'd it work out for you?
It always worked out well. I met some people who I didn't know were fans. Made some new fans.
Nice.
You know, it was just a nice little time. It was a nice time to always get up there and play some music. And I do a lot of remixes and stuff like that. So it's like to see people's faces when they hear the remix and they're like, oh, shit, damn, I didn't know this was going to sound like that. You know, so it's always good.
Okay.
Nice.
Always
I love it.
Fun times.
So with everything that you do, and I want to call you an entrepreneurial artist, you already told us what your preference is. What are you working on right now that we should look out for, that's going to pop off?
Right now, that's crazy because I really don't have anything definite right now outside of working on the Souls of Liberty album. That's the predominant rap group that I produce for. Okay. They have 2 local artists from St. Louis. So we're working on that album, trying to go into teaching instructional classes when it comes to the T-shirts and stuff like that. So getting that set up. Nice. Just trying to, move into different realms of what it is that I already do. Of course, I need to put out another project myself, but I just haven't really had time to sit down and do that. But I am going to be in a battle, Fresh Produce battle, another battle this Wednesday. Nice. It's funny because I keep saying I retired.
Now you unretired.
I'm like Tom Brady. I'm retiring up out of here.
I was like, unretired? What's he talking about?
Because I say I'm gonna retire. I say I'm gonna retire every single time that I do it. Win, lose, or draw. If I win, I say I'm gonna retire. If I lose, I say I'm gonna retire. But it's just like I'm addicted to the competition and just being on the stage. So it's like every time I see that they finna do another one, I'm like,
gotta get in it.
I gotta get in it.
Yeah.
So what kind of prizes or awards come from doing that if you win that? Or just, it's just
they
bragging
have
rights?
up, no, it's bragging rights too. They have upped it now. It's top price is $500 now. I think second place is $200, and then of course you get $100 studio time. Back in the day, when I was winning them back in the day, they were giving out tattoos and stuff like that too. So it was $100 back then, $100 tattoo, $100 studio time, all of that if you won. So some of my tattoos that I got now come from that winning that prize, and I just done stacked up all the studio time. I think I got like $700-800 worth of studio time stacked up that I just ain't even used at Suburban Pro. So yeah, shout out to Matt Sawicki, shout out to Fresh Produce, all of y'all.
That's what's
over there. DJ Who, all of y'all, the whole crew.
Okay.
Everybody.
How would you describe your production style when it comes to music and beats?
Laid back. I like to groove. So I'm not I don't produce like club music. I'm an adult. Not to say that people who produce club music are not adults, so that can come across wrong. But no, I'm just saying like I like to vibe. You know what I'm saying? So I just like things to be mellow and smooth, and you can get some nice bounce, some knock and stuff like that out of that. And, you know, me doing that show that you just were talking about, the Beats and Vibes show, that proves it right there that you don't have to have the club Lil Jon tracks and stuff like that for people to enjoy themselves and have a good time.
I can definitely vouch for what you said because during a transition period when we stopped doing the Freaks of the Industry to start doing the audio Audacity, I came to you for some potential beats for an opener and a closer. And he sent me a list of beats, and everything slammed. Everything was nice, and it was, like you said, it was chill. And the one we used for the podcast is what really floored me. But it was like 3, including this one I picked, and I was like, I just couldn't decide. But once I got home, put it on my computer and turned up the treble and bass on it and just let it thump.
When he come to my husband, we had to ride around with them beats.
Yes,
for
we did.
I mean, we rode around
transparency.
solo, like,
yeah.
Okay, it's hours now. We're down to 3.
We had a family gathering. We had a family gathering out in Winsville. So we live in North County, which is like a 40-minute drive.
Yeah.
And I was playing the music, and I just couldn't stop playing.
He's like, okay,
the
listen to
beat
this.
we picked.
I was like, if we
And
don't
it was
ever go
and then so just to get it on, just to get the right music in my head, just to make sure I made the right choice. I have a cousin who we always, my cousin Sean, shout out to Shitty, my cousin Sean Pride.
Shout out to Shitty.
Shitty P.
Hell no.
Me and Sean we have the same taste in music. Well, whether it be MF Doom, Little Brother, Souls of Mischief, Tribe Called Quest, you name it. That's what we own. And so I can throw some at him, and he already know what I'm talking about. And out of everything, it was like I was down to my last 2.
Yeah.
But the one I chose was definitely one that floored him too. I was like, you know what? That's it. So once again, shout out to Klevah for
the ones you picked. That's crazy. Like I do have some that are knock heavy like that, and that's one of them. And it just happens to be just a random night that and those would be beats that people end up when they come over to the crib and they cycling through my folder. They end up picking stuff like that. They pick other stuff too, but then that's how stuff like that gets found. Is like just out of nowhere because I just don't be playing shit like that.
It's laid back and it's not cool. You know what? Because I'm laid back, but I will lean the fuck up. So it does both.
If need be, I'll get the fuck up.
Yeah, that's what that is.
Don't take this laid backness for a weakness.
Right.
I will handle what I need to handle.
Right.
That's funny.
Now I heard a couple of cuts on that recent album.
Which one?
The Roses remixes. Okay. Yeah, and that was pretty good. And Energy, is that a...
Yeah, she's shout out to Energy. Yeah, she's she does the Word Up every Tuesday night at Legacy on Delmar.
That's who that is.
Yeah. So
okay.
I've had her on a few different of my projects. And then she's on one of the tracks on that. I think she's on the intro, if I'm not mistaken. It's the one that has the Alicia Keys remix. So yeah, no, she's dope. The remixes, I just like to, like I said, just give you a different viewpoint of what the song that you already heard, reimagine it in a sense. Nice. And it seems like her lately, like the album covers along with the music has been the draw. Because that particular album cover was a little extra.
That's all I'm going to say about that.
A little extra. And that was kind of toned down compared to the one prior to that. Because there's one called Thrills 3.
Okay.
If y'all out there, go listen to Thrills 3. Pull it up.
Yeah,
You'll see that album cover. And the music matches that album cover.
Are you on Apple or Spotify or what?
It is on my website, whatklevahdoes.com.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It is also on SoundCloud. But if you want to get the full unedited and everything, the imagery and all of that, that's on the website, whatklevahdoes.com.
Everybody go to whatklevahdoes.com.
Klevah
check
with
them out.
Klevah. Since we were spelling
it all out.
So my question is, what's keeping you here? Why haven't you? I'm saying I say you haven't, but have you ever tried to get out of St. Louis to start a career in music production? You know, because for those who don't know, Metro Boomin is from St. Louis. You know, and he's doing a damn
and
thing.
had to dip to Atlanta to get it popping.
Right,
for real.
exactly. So besides of course, your daughters keep
That's
you
what's
grounded.
keeping me.
So that's
what's
what it
keeping me here
Okay.
as a kids. My oldest is getting ready to be, a freshman next year.
Okay.
So I give myself maybe 4 more years of just physically being here in St. Louis.
Right.
And then after that, I'm out.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
So I'm going to do as much as I can while I'm here.
Right.
Build as enough buzz that I can while I'm here, and then branch it out after that.
So L.A., Atlanta.
Austin.
Oh, nice.
Texas.
That's where it's at. Yeah. South by Southwest. And
That and just a lot of, Silicon Valley, they all moving to Austin. Mm-hmm. Everybody is shipping things
that's
to
what
Austin.
Joe Rogan
It's
went to from.
yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of the other people going Tesla's moving their factory down there too. So I fell in love with Austin back in 2014, 2015. We went and performed at South by Southwest. Mm-hmm. And then just going around the city, it just was like, I got to be here.
Nice.
So I've been just stuck on, where's my mind has been stuck on is Austin.
Nice.
But I've lived in Memphis. Shout out to my Memphis family. I've lived in Memphis for quite some time. I lived in Pine Bluff, Arkansas as well. So I've been other places that I branch my sound out. I'm not just stuck locally to St. Louis. I'm pretty national with it when it comes to what people
your sound doesn't sound like, certain areas have a certain sound.
Mm-hmm.
We have the Atlanta sound, Chicago sound, New York, LA sound. Your sound is fluid. It's androgynous. It has no male or female. It has no black or white. It just
flows.
It flows.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, because believe me, it's. I've always wanted to do beats. I have an ear for beats, but I can't do it. So
it's funny. I just had a session earlier today with the Souls. Shout out to the Souls, and we was having this exact conversation about like the sound. People typically think St. Louis is just the club scene. It's the Nelly, the Chingy,
The sing-song
Huey,
rap.
all of that. And that's not necessarily what it is. Even if you go to, like, say, for instance, that show Beats and Vibes, you hear a lot of people whose production is closer to the vibe of mine.
right,
The core underground of St. Louis does not sound like that.
it sure doesn't.
So it's like once that starts to bubble over, and it can get some mainstream attention, then I think people will start attributing a different sound to St. Louis versus what they already do.
Because for every Nelly, Chingy,
It's 5 per one. It's 5 other type of sounds per one.
There's a Smino out there. I love Smino.
Mm-hmm.
That's man. He from here. He from the Lou. But you would never know. I mean, he repped the Lou like a motherfucker.
He
but
rep it more
his
than anyone,
sound
though, for real.
ain't St. Louis. Quotey
technically.
fingers.
No, but in essence, it is.
Right.
It is. It's just not what you are used to hearing.
True.
From St. Louis. So it's like, it's pure St. Louis, really. SZA's also from St. Louis. So it's like, it's just, it's like I said, it's what goes mainstream and what doesn't. And he's right there on the cusp of like just being pushed over the top.
With the J. Cole Earth Gang connection, he's almost there.
He like a hit away.
Yeah.
Hit away.
If you guys don't know who Smino is, Smino.
Check him
look
out.
him up on IG, Facebook, whatever. Look him up. The brother got skills. He got skills. He covered
On I can't remember which album it is, but you can go on my website and see. I got a Smino remix on one of the Klevah albums.
Nice.
Yeah, so
I gotta check it out.
I just don't be remembering which album it is, so my apologies. I've come out with like 7 or 8 of them now, so kind of like
Yeah, and I was wondering about that because this was just February.
Yeah, I haven't put out one in a minute.
And-
I just got some stuff stockpiled, but yeah, that was, I think Roses was the last one.
Okay, because I'm
believe
like,
so.
well, that was pretty recent. How often do you put out your work?
For a minute there, I was going like every 3 months.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I just, you sit down, you just working, creating, and you, like I said, I stockpile them. I have a whole playlist full of them, and I'm like, yeah, I need to take it out. Yeah, take it out of my laptop, really, like so everybody else can hear it. Because I'll sit there and hoard music for years,
Right.
and not let nobody hear it. I got stuff that people have not heard at all. Like like I said, I had the session today, and we were going back from music that we've made since 2009 all the way up until now. And it's just like, man, the talent and the quality is still there. It's just the different, you could tell where we were mentally at each stage.
Right.
I'm making it.
So, with the production, who are your Mount Rushmore of producers?
Timbaland's number one for me,
Yes,
right off the board.
Yes,
that's number one. So I would say if we're going Mount Rushmore of producers, I would say Timbaland, Pharrell, Kanye, Jay Dilla.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, well, then that's
That's
it then.
Yeah.
That's it then.
Yeah, that's it for me. And that's not, that's not taken away from, there's so many of them. Of course, I could have said Dr. Dre, I could have said Diddy, I could have said Manny Fresh, I could have said Organized Noise. I know them all, trust to believe. It ain't that I don't know them all. I'm very aware of them all. But when it comes to me, the four that I would say I would be what do they call those? Soul Childs or whatever they call them, like spirit animals or whatever the case might be.
Yeah, that's it, spirit animals.
Those would be the four. So Timbaland, Pharrell, Kanye, Jay Dilla.
I would say for me, it would be Jay Dilla, Ninth Wonder, Kanye. He crazy as bad shit, but his beats are flawless.
Man, everybody crazy. We all crazy.
Right. Yeah.
Gotta expose it.
Yeah, it's just we not billionaires, so you don't see ours all the time.
Shit.
Everybody shit.
Speaking of Amazon, but yeah, go ahead.
So what are some of the?
You ain't asked me.
Oh, wait, go. I know you had them. Go ahead, Matt. I'm sorry, Miss Lady. Go ahead,
Okay.
Miss Brooks. Go ahead.
It's mine.
Okay.
Dylan. No, I actually agree with him. Dylan. Yes,
Hey,
it
what's
is.
Dylan
Ain't nobody
doing right
even
now?
mentioned Dylan in so long.
Where is he?
Yeah.
Shit, somewhere.
That is a great question. I'm gonna look that up. But no, I'm just go ahead. I agree with him though. Like that would have been like my first off tease, exactly who he said. So yeah, there's that on that.
And let's go for the honorable mention. Got to go with Metro Boomin because he's
I
good.
put him up there. I put him in my top 10.
Yeah.
You know the thing about the Midwest, and a lot of the guys have been interviewed. They say the same thing, like your Nellies and so on. That it's the Midwest. Like we getting some of that South, we getting some East Coast, we getting some West Coast, because we're right there in the center of it all, and we're a hub. Like,
I used to
we're a
always
hub
describe it to
state.
people as imagine taking the drain. The stop drain out of a hot tub.
Yeah, and
St.
everybody.
Louis is the drain because everybody is just coming and passing through here and leaving something or not or whatever the case might
or
be.
picking up something and
Or
taking
picking
it
up
with
and
them.
there you go, that part too. So I mean,
that's
a lot
how I
of
look
things.
at it. We're a hub, so a lot of between drugs and music,
between
we
drugs-
got it covered. I'm just saying, we're a hub.
between drugs and music.
Let's see.
it's true.
What are your goals as a music producer?
I ultimately want to score films.
Nice.
So my objective is to be I hate to say these type of things, but the black Hans Zimmer type shit. Like, so you calling on me to give you all of the mood music that you need for all of your music, all of your movies rather, whether it be action movies, whether it be rom-coms, whether it be flicks, porn, whatever it is.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
Out the gate.
It don't matter. That's the ultimate goal, is to be just a movie's score of a movie.
That's where the money is too. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no, and I mean that's also, what I'm saying, it's freedom. You're not necessarily creating a song. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to extract a mood and get somebody to feel something just by the music. So you could be just having a scene where a person's just sitting right there, but the music is giving you the feel and the vibe of what is going on in a particular scene. So that's where I'm at with it.
True.
Yeah.
Let's see. If you can give advice to any up and coming producer, what would it be?
Keep going. Figure out what, and I like to speak in metaphors too, so don't judge me. But find out what type of pencil you like to use and what type of paper you like to write on. And so to explain that is, I know everybody sees all the equipment out there in the world. You can have a studio full of every fucking thing. I've had a studio where I had the microphone hanging from a thread, literally a piece of thread that I got from my grandmother's sewing kit in my closet, and I've had a very elaborate $100,000 studio. It doesn't matter. It's still what you put into it. You know what I'm saying? So just find your niche. You know what I'm saying? So you start off small if you can. Just get something. Nowadays we got the phones and shit. If I'd have had this shit when I was young, where I could produce from my phone, whatever the case might be, it'd be
so
fucking crazy. So shit, get you an iPad or get you something simple and just start getting your ideas out and figure it out. And then just don't stop.
No?
Ain't no rules.
What has been the most rewarding experience in your
Production?
life?
Oh, experience
In
in my
life.
life. In life. Ooh.
Yeah.
I would give the cliche answer, which is bringing my beautiful kids.
Your baby.
I got to pull my oldest daughter out, like literally pull her out.
She was trying to hang in there.
No, I think the doctor, he lost his practice now, so either way.
Wow.
But
I
I
think
think
deliver the baby, I guess.
he got her head out, and then he looked at me and said, "Grab her, Dad." And I was like, "My nigga, grab her? What the fuck you talking
No, I do the
about?"
cord. You do that.
Yeah, I was like, "What
You
the
do
fuck
the
you talking
body.
about?" So I grabbed her shoulders and then got that out, and then put my hands under her arms and
To pull
pulled
her out, yeah.
And when I did that, she opened her eyes. I knew she couldn't see me, but
yeah.
she opened her eyes. We made a little slight eye contact, and it was like, "Oh."
Yeah.
That would be it. I know that's right.
That was rewarded.
That's what's
But outside of that, musically, it would probably be when the Souls and I got to go perform in New York for Wale. We opened up for Wale's The Gifted tour.
Nice.
We was in the Best Buy Theater. It was sold out. Line wrapped around the venue and stuff like that in Times Square. And we were only supposed to do 2 songs.
Right.
So we won a contest against a bunch of East Coast people. We were the only Midwest. Everybody else was East Coast. So we won the contest. You had to vote. We get out there, only supposed to do 2 songs. We had to pay our way, get out there, pay the way to stay, all of that, right?
Damn.
But we was going out there for 10 minutes is what we was going to be on the stage for. We do our sound check for 10 minutes, right? So we walking through Times Square waiting on the show to start, and we like, all 3 of us, we're like, man, we got to figure out a way we're going to do. We're going to squeeze the 3rd song in there. What they going to do? We already did the first 2. What they going to do? The worst they can do is cut us off. I mean, we're going to try to do this 3rd song. So the thing was for me to go out first. So I go out first, get the setup. I'm supposed to play them on, you know what I'm saying? When I get there, the sound engineer guy, he's like, hey, Wale not coming out until he get his Olive Garden. So y'all gotta feel it. Yeah, now this show, before I say this show is streamed globally. We had to sign waivers and everything for that, right? It's streamed globally. All right. Y'all gotta feel 30 minutes.
Oh.
This is what he tell us after we sound check 2 songs, and I'm literally standing to get ready and go perform.
Right.
So I go back there, I tell them, I say, look, they just said we got to feel 30 minutes. And so they like, what instrumentals you got on the laptop? I'm like, I got everything, but whatever we're going to do, we're just going to go. And it was like, they gave us 10 minutes to kind of get our stuff together. And we went out there and did that shit. And then the fact that when we got off stage, the crowd was really fucking with us. And it was coming up. That was like the most rewarding feeling. So it lets you know that, like, okay, outside of here, you know what I'm saying, people do fuck with what we got going on. So we met Kevin Durant during that time period that day. It was a lot of shit going on that day backstage. Met a lot of people. So I would say that would probably be the most rewarding.
That's what's up.
So far.
Yeah. Music is universal, man.
Yeah, no, it is.
You know, it transcends all race.
Yeah, it's a universal language. It's just, you don't even have to.
If you close
A
your
scale
eyes.
is the same A scale in China that it is over here.
There it is. That's what I love about it. Unlike numbers. So tell me this. Have you changed as a person since beginning all this? Do you think you...
Yeah, I would say I changed. I think I matured a lot.
Okay, so you would say you evolved, not changed.
It's the same difference.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, change, your evolution
Write
has
that
changed.
up for you.
You know what I'm saying? Same difference. I think we all go through stages. I've gone through the initial bright-eyed, bushy-tailed phase, or whatever the case might be. And then, for lack of a better term, the more woke phase. You know, I hate that whole woke shit, but just more aware, I would say that. And then now I'm in just the phase of, fuck you, I got to get it.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
The hunger.
I know that.
Yeah. So it's just like, I mean, respectfully, but fuck you, I got to get it.
Right.
Fuck you, pay me.
All right.
Yeah, definitely fuck you, pay me.
Well, I know I've met several artists who have changed and not necessarily evolved. When I say change, it's like, okay, well, they doing this kind of music over here, so I'm gonna just...
I get what you're saying.
I'm gonna just do what they doing.
No. I don't do that. No, I don't go to fit in. It's Klevah with exclamation point at all times.
All right, that's what's
and
up.
Either you rock with it or you don't.
Yeah, I feel you.
Because as long as I rock with it, that's where I'm at. I do it for the pure passion of it. Of course, you want to make it to the point where your finances are coming from that, but I'm not gonna compromise my integrity just to make some money.
Right.
I got you.
So no, I haven't changed in that aspect. Everything is purely still the same way of how I did it.
With the string and the microphone.
other than just upgrading the equipment and learning more about things and stuff like that. But yeah, no, the actual sound, no, I'm not changing that.
Yeah, don't.
Not in the
listen
sense to where
it.
I'm changing it to try to fit in.
Yeah, just scooch over here and do this.
Yeah, no, I like to
don't
experiment
like
with
that.
new sounds, but I'm not trying to do what I hear on the radio. Excuse me.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. It's the difference between changing and evolution. If
Yeah.
you're constantly evolving through and with your music, you on point.
Now that part I am
Yeah.
doing. I think that my life experiences and stuff like that help mature the sound or whatever in that aspect of things.
Since the initial inception of the things that you do, we know what Klevah does.
What Klevah does.
How has your various endeavors expanded?
It started with, of course, music, and then I started doing the shirts, and then it went from the shirts to I'll take that back. What Klevah does started. Thank you, Don. Shout out to Don. What Klevah does actually started as Ask Chris. It was hashtag Ask Chris. I used to work at Guitar Center for 7 years, so I worked in the audio department. So people going by and recording stuff, keyboards, and all that other stuff. And it started from Guitar Center didn't have a service where they would help you set stuff up, like a Geek Squad, so to say. And so I started charging people on the side,
Nice.
$35 an hour. I come to your crib, set your stuff up, or whatever the case might be. I can walk you through it. I give you a tutorial, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So that, of course, boosted my sales in the store, and then outside started the whole Ask Chris.
Ask
which
Chris
then-
what Klevah does.
Well, see,
They
that's
got me
the
wrapped
thing.
up on the internet.
Yeah, that's crazy, though, because it literally was just Ask Chris. And then one day I was just like, what Klevah does? And then one day I was like, well, Ask Chris what Klevah does. And I was like,
gonna
that's
ask
the
you who's
hashtag right there.
I was
You
going to
like,
ask you, who's Chris?
Oh, yeah, there you go.
I just knew Klevah.
There you go. So, yeah.
A lot of y'all.
It's just a lot of y'all. So many personalities.
Everybody in there.
No, so yeah, it just matriculated throughout the time. So I take all the stuff that I know how to do, and then I try to monetize it. So of course I know how to set up websites. So what service do I have? I have a website setup service, and I also have a website management service. So you can pay me monthly, and I'll manage it. Logos, all of that type of stuff. So just anything that I know that I can do well, and that people are seeking in that realm of media and entertainment. That's what I do. So it started from Ask Chris, and then here we are now with what Klevah does.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well,
Now-
what you... Oh, go ahead, baby.
Can you let our listeners and viewers
It's
know
very
what
dynamic.
does Klevah do?
Oh,
What all different endeavors do you have
think it
available for
depends.
people to order, purchase, or view?
It just depends on what you're looking for. What you need.
What does Klevah do on his off day?
And is the price right?
That's a better
The price
question.
is right, and it's not going to compromise my integrity.
No footage.
Nope. I mean, hey, all the footage. If that's what we're doing. What does Klevah do on his off days? I sit back. I listen to music. When it's not my time with the kids, I am, like I said, vibing, listen to music. I might make me a lettuce sandwich. For those of you all that don't know what a lettuce sandwich is, it's not actual lettuce.
Herbal essence?
Yeah, it's like of the
Yes.
herbal variety.
All right.
So I, sit down and do that. I like to watch documentaries. I'm a documentary buff.
Me too.
All different types, so it don't matter what type it is. The weirder, the better. The more murder, the better.
Yeah, serial killer.
Yeah,
Or
all of
Disney.
that.
Yeah,
Either or.
either or.
And I just like to vibe, just chill, just good times. I just like peace. I'm very, like I said, laid back, nonchalant. I don't do the drama, so
Yeah. Introvert.
No, I would think that I'm an ambivert. I think I'm a combination of the two.
Again, I'm laid the fuck
Because
back.
I can work the room,
Yeah.
and then I can also chill and be a fly on the wall.
Yeah. Definitely ambivert because
Because I like to observe. Sometimes observing and keeping your mouth closed a lot of times,
It's the best
you can
thing.
learn a lot.
yeah, I tell
A
people
lot of the
the
stuff
less
I've
you
learned
say.
has been from me just sitting back and observing and being aware of my surroundings. And you can't do that when you trying to be the loudest person in the room.
Bouncing around and carrying on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm that way. We got a lot in common, Klevah.
Seems like it. Are you a Virgo?
No, I'm
Oh,
not.
that would have just put it on over the
Wouldn't
top.
it? I could have lied. You would never know.
She said I
We
could have
already-
lied.
We already had that show about the
Stubborn
zodiac.
ass Taurus.
I'm
That's
stubborn.
what
I am
yeah.
stubborn.
she is.
I'm
Yeah,
Taurus.
she's
I'm
very
raising one. I'm stubborn as a Taurus.
When's her birthday?
April 22nd.
Lies, deceptions. Mine is April 26th.
Not for real?
Sorry, know where she at.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, well.
Crazy.
Disney. What did I say? Disney, Pixar,
Disney or murder or serial killer.
Yeah, or serial killers. Ain't nothing on Disney. Let me find.
That's hilarious.
If you could change anything about the music industry in that aspect, what would it be?
Just the inclusion. I know we live in a capitalistic world, but I mean, a lot of the music that people really fuck with is not the shit that they play every 2 seconds on the radio. True. Can we stop playing the same 5 songs?
True.
Oh, gosh.
Every 10 minutes.
If it ain't The Baby, Lil Baby.
I stopped listening.
And it's
to
not
the
to
radio.
say that them songs are bad.
Right.
It's just that how many times do you want me to hear it in 30 minutes?
I don't know
Like,
which baby it is when they playing the babies. I don't know who to who. I
the
stopped
one that's
listening
got
to
the
the
auto
radio.
tune is Lil Baby, and the one that sounds like he trying to chew through your speakers is Da Baby.
There it is.
Facts.
There it is.
Because back in the day,
Shout out to both of them though. You covered
Yeah.
some tracks from Klevah with the exclamation point.
I done said
right?
you
Facts.
chewing through the
Back in the
damn.
day, I remember listening to the radio. You could listen to some Common as well as some NWA. You
You
can
know,
bump,
it was a lot more variety.
yeah. You could bump some Slum Village and some Outkast and some Chub Rock and some Heavy D, as well as
It's kind of why my radio station, if I'm listening to the radio, it stays on 96.3. I'm just listening to the old school. I don't even want to listen to 100.3 or 104.1. I don't even want to do it because you're going to play the same shit.
Right, I got satellite radio in my car, Sirius XM, and I listen to.
fancy.
I listen to basically.
Basically.
I listen to LL Rock the Bells, Eminem,
Yeah, I like a lot of that stuff.
Shady, the Shady channel, and just a little bit of everything. But I mostly
Shady
like the
45,
old school.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I listen to club music when I'm in the bar or the club. I don't need you yelling at me and telling me that you pop your pussy this way. I don't need that in the car with me while I'm driving because it's just not for me at that moment. But if I'm in the bar and I had some drinks and that's just what it is, okay, then boom. That's the setting for that.
Right.
But for me, like when I'm in the car, this car ain't that big. I don't need to be that violent in this car. I don't need to be celebrating and shit like that. in the
Roll
car.
rage.
Yeah,
Turn
like
this
you
up.
said, the potholes already making me rage out
Mad.
the most, so I don't need the music to accompany that.
You got your soundtrack right there.
Man,
No, I stopped listening to the radio about 5 years ago, to be honest with you. And then I'll go on my phone and, Siri or Alexa at the house and be like, New Energy. And they'll play New Energy station. And it'll be just stuff I've never heard, new stuff. I put him on the little stuff here and there, but I'm like, I just need the different. I've heard all of this. I got all of that in my phone.
Seconds.
I just need the different. So, yeah, I listen to different. I don't even listen to the radio no more.
So
RIP radio.
since we met on a podcast,
Oh,
I have podcast questions because currently, hey, we're on a podcast and I'm still going. Madam Coleman is retired,
yeah.
but I'm still going strong and picked up my wife in the
I go.
interim. So definitely,
Here I go.
I want to ask you, my brother, how long have you been a podcaster?
we are going on our 100th show. Will be 4/20. We hit 2 years at the beginning of March, so the week before 314 Day was 2 years. So our first show that we did live was when the start of the pandemic. As soon as we went on lockdown, we was supposed to be on lockdown, but we was recording a podcast. So.
Right.
We've been going strong ever since then, and the progression has happened. People that have been fans of ours from show one remember that we used to put up a backdrop in the middle of the show and stuff like that, and we didn't have no mic. We just was going directly from my phone. But now we, as you can see now, things are a lot different.
Yeah.
So we are just trying to keep advancing and stuff like that. So we're planning a live show for the 100th.
Nice.
Episode where we're gonna do some give out some awards. It'll be the second annual Pack Panty Awards.
Okay.
Oh, I guess we ain't got in under the bar. Okay, we have to next year. Because I don't think we've been on long enough to get no awards.
Well, it ain't. We give out like the awards are kind of stuff like craziest comment of the show and stuff like that. Unicorn of the year.
Okay, I got
and
that.
things of that nature.
Right.
Okay.
So like stuff that is that's applicable to the show. We call the women who try to agree with everything that we say and disagree with our gripes about women. We call them unicorns. It's like, oh, you do everything. I don't know how explicit y'all get on this show, so I'm not gonna say
No, go ahead. That's
we
okay.
still say free industry, but
okay,
we still
so in the sense of say for instance this, we'll have a meme up that'll be talking something about sex, right? And all the women in the comments is like, I don't know, the women that y'all choose, it's the women that y'all pick that don't do blah blah blah. So we be like, oh, y'all just unicorns. We got a special sound effect for them and everything. We guess you suck dick from the back every day while you cooking spaghetti and you doing everything else all at the same time. So.
I want.
That's
I
what
want
they
my
say.
Award.
And she said, I want my award. See, that's what we have in
am.
the
But for her,
That's what we have in the comments.
It's a little different than what you think.
It's lasagna with her. It's not spaghetti.
It's 7 noodle lasagna, but we're
seven layers.
But who's counting?
Who's counting?
obviously nobody because I use more noodles than man. But I'm a different type. When I say that, it's because it's a lot of women that don't like to hear what I got to say.
This is true.
But the shit be on point. But you're not looking at it from that view.
No, because most of the time, the people that we're talking about, my grandmother used to always say, hit dog hollers. You know what I'm saying? So I always tell the women,
like
when we are on the show and we are doing these discussions and stuff like that, it's not to say that all women are like this.
Yes.
Because that's not true.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that all men are the way that they be
Not
thinking.
an
Because I'm not.
all-inclusive.
Right.
But it's like, if the shoe fits, if the bonnet fits,
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
if the leggings fit,
If the lashes fit.
if the lashes fit.
I have all of those. I want my award.
She said, I have all of those. I want my award. She's like,
I've never
I
worn
need
the
my
bonnet though. I had my people's wear it recently, but no, I got a bonnet. I ain't never wore that shit. But
So it's just like, take from it what you will, and it's all in fun and games. We're trying to educate the women from a male's perspective.
Yes.
And so we've been doing it. Like I said, last week was our 97th episode, and yeah, it's fun. It's definitely fun.
yeah.
Last week was Slapgate, so we talked about the.
I saw that. I watched that episode.
Yeah. That was pretty
I liked
interesting.
y'all screen on
That
the
is
it's pretty
definitely. I mean, it's like everybody's been talking about that. Like it. I mean, it's like
I still think
everywhere.
it was fake.
Yeah, I don't.
I still think it was a hoax. The slap itself looked like it was a movie slap. Like it
I'll
didn't
tell
look
you why
like
it looks
was-
like that. You have to go and watch it from the people that were watching it live. Because by the time it got to us, it was.
Well, no, I saw that live feed. I saw the
It
feed
jarred
the feed before they not the American feed. So I saw the overseas.
from
the Australia
Japan.
feed is like
The
live.
Japan feed
yeah.
was the one
Yeah.
I saw. Yeah, and it
Japan.
was just like, and even from the other angle, I seen an angle where Jada was laughing after he slapped him. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I seen a couple of different angles of it. And
Yeah,
it's just like
there
either
it
way,
is,
it just still kind of looks
Janky.
fake to
Janky.
me. But I mean, hey, shout out to both of them.
Yeah, I hate it happened.
To each his
But
own. Come say, come sa. It is what it is.
I would have hemmed his ass up.
So
You know,
speaking
you're
of
just not gonna
things.
smack me. But I mean, I get it.
yeah, that
Right, this is
He was
not-
on the Oscars. He probably,
And you saw what he said afterwards. He was like, "Boy, I could." Ooh.
Yeah, he said I could have. Okay, all right,
Oh,
and then he
okay.
kept it moving. That was that. In
Well, I
my
could
opinion,
come
that's the
down
North
there
Side
with
shit.
you.
Okay, all right. Gotcha.
Bite your lip. Don't say
So
nothing.
with you being on the podcast as long as you have, and your co-host is Louis Chops, how did y'all meet?
Shout out my
Yeah.
brother.
Hey, Lou.
That is my brother. From another mother.
Okay. I'm gonna say for real.
Nah, we have had a 20+ year friendship. Goes back to early high school. So it's three of us, me, him, and BG. Shout out to BG. He's I don't know if you all ever heard of Original Family Smokehouse. It's a vegan barbecue.
It's a vegan place.
Yeah, vegan barbecue. That's my brother. He does that. So he's the chef. Aaron is Louis Chops. Let me not call him by his government. Louis Chops is the barber, and then I'm the musician. So
Right.
that's a little trifecta of things.
Nice.
Yeah, it was Louis' idea. It was Chops' idea. It's so difficult for me to call him Chops because I don't call him Chops, but it was his idea to do the show years before we started doing the show. He would beg me, literally, come on, man. Everybody already talking about how we talk, because people like to be around us when we kicking it and stuff like that. And they always like to sit and hear how we,
The banter, the back and
exactly,
forth.
back and forth. So he's like, we need to put this on a podcast. We need to actually do this. So we tried it one time where we just did a pre-recorded version, not live, and we just never put it out. And then we started, like I said, 2 years ago, doing it live.
Yeah, I'm fine. The dog rolled over on me. I was like, "What in the world?"
I keep forgetting
I
that
got
they got
scared.
the dog over here.
Yeah. So how long has it been though that you've known him? Like,
Oh, like I said, over 20-some years. Yeah, so it's probably going on 25, 26 years that we known each other.
That's a while. That's a long while. My co-host, 19 years in the game with that one.
Yeah, no, congratulations on that.
I guess so.
People don't be
No,
married.
I'm just saying.
People
I
don't be
love
married for a year out here. Y'all out here 19. Look at y'all.
Man, we've only been married. My husband keep up with it more than I do. Ain't that something? I'm the woman. We've been together 19 years.
No,
We've been together like
12,
13. I don't know. He gonna correct me. I know you watching this at home. You gonna correct me. But so you can see me on the camera say that. But okay, well, how'd you get started in the custom T-shirt game? What brought that on?
I was at a conference. I used to teach at a summer camp called Freedom School. Shout out to Freedom School. Again, jack of all trades, master of many. I was a teacher too.
Do all that.
But we were at a national training convention in Knoxville, and I just was noticing that everybody was setting up booths with T-shirts, and they were just selling T-shirts and shit. So in one of the little boring ass seminars that we had to sit through, I keep forgetting about that. Just said that. One of the seminars that they had, I was just sitting there on Amazon, and I was like, how much does this shit actually cost? And then I saw how much the press costs and how much the vinyl cutter costs, and I'm like, I should just do it. That way next summer I'm bringing my shit out here. But right. I didn't even end up going to the following summer, but I ended up doing the shirts from there. So that's probably been for about a good 4, almost 5 years now that I've been doing that.
Nice. I can vouch. I bought many shirts from said Klevah.
Yeah, man.
You know, especially this year, about that 314 shirt.
My thing is, like, I want the quality to be to the point where you had these shirts for years and the letter and everything is still on there. Because I had people bringing me shirts that other people made, talking about, you know, they just made it last week and the R is coming off. And
stuff is falling off of it.
Horrible. Because we definitely
quality work is where I'm at with it.
Yeah, the work is quality because when we did the Freaks Industry and we needed some shirts done, we came to Klevah and it was on point.
Knocked them right out. One-stop shop. Get your intro, get your shirts, merch.
Right.
I was just going to ask you that too. Like, what other wide range of products?
Everything.
And services do you offer?
You know, tablecloths, like I said, cups.
Tablecloth? Okay.
Cups, ashtrays, rolling trays, like I said, decals for the car, so you know the stickers that go on your car and stuff like that, or go on your windows and stuff like that. So all of that. Laptop decals.
Hookahs. I said hookahs.
I mean, I can customize your hookah.
Oh, just the customization of it. Okay.
I can't make the actual hookah. I ain't did that yet. I'm getting ready to get into the epoxy stuff and start doing some different type of crafting and stuff like that. That's my next thing I want to tackle.
Yeah. Okay.
But I do everything. I had a lady get some panties done.
Oh.
So yeah, I do everything.
Were they like monogrammed or do?
No, it's pressed. It was heat pressed on. Like she had me put her logo over her.
All right.
Well, I know these particular ones that this person, I'm not going to mention their name, that they're doing, and it has the you can customize it by putting the letters and the charms on it, and they're just like the little G-string kind. But I guess you don't do that because I was finna ask you to do that.
Like the charms itself?
Like it could say whatever you want, like boss lady or Capricorn.
I'm sure I can do it. I'm sure I can do it.
Yeah, it don't look too hard. Look, I'm trying to get you to do it for me.
She trying to
look, it ain't that hard. Bitch, do it yourself then.
What I saw, just send me a picture of it and I can go from there.
Now, on a side note, when last time you talked to your sister, Anika?
Actually, shout out to Anika. She is recovering right now. She didn't have too good of a week, but I talked to her all this week.
Right.
Pretty much.
And I spoke to her a while ago, and she was a little concerned because she would want to do some podcast stuff. She was trying to do the podcast.
Yeah.
And, we had her on. You remember we had that podcast we had her on,
Oh,
that's
my
big sister. Okay. I'm the big brother.
Yeah.
And that's my little sister.
Got you. I got you.
But no, shout out to my sis, man. I hope she's feeling better. Last time I talked to her, she said she was just a little tired.
Shout out to Anika. That's my girl.
But yeah, I talked to her this week.
Yeah,
so
St. Louis being so small, I had met her first at the gig, not knowing, she called you Chris. She don't call you Klevah.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I'd already heard about you, just never put two and two together until I met Monty. And I'm like, Monty, what? And it's so good. It's so refreshing because she good people, you good people. So y'all come from good stock. And so
I wouldn't necessarily say the person we came from, but we turned the shit around.
Okay, well, then let that be the reason.
We turned this shit around for you one time.
Needless to say that it's definitely what's the point I'm getting at? It was a situation where I can tell she wants to do the podcast game. You know what I'm saying? She got a lot to
She's
talk
just
about.
been busy.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's supposed to be getting with me so we can so I can produce her show. It was probably gonna be like the second or third show that I produce. So I do that as well too. I do produce podcasts, edit them, record them, and all of that type of stuff too. So another form of another service that Klevah does.
Damn, boy, you do it all.
I'm trying.
Yeah, and there ain't nothing wrong with that because
I'm tired of clocking in for people. I want to clock in for myself at all times.
Oh, you know what? And put that same energy towards your own that you would somebody's 8 hour. Where you
Yeah,
out
exactly.
out the box.
Precisely.
Out the box.
of course, by you being from St. Louis, what high school did you go to?
Oh, I went to the best high school in the city, Sodan International Science High
I was
School.
finna say Sumner.
Class of 2003.
I did
Shout
my
out to my
homework.
class of 2003. Our 20-year and reunion is next year.
I ain't gonna lie, I didn't even think they've been open that long. I
Soda?
thought they had closed so damn down back in the 80s.
Nah, so
It's
then
still up
it
and
changed
running, huh?
from white to black and went to international.
Oh gosh, I didn't know that.
And
I
they
got
still
an aunt that
kicking.
went to Sodan.
That'll be one of the last ones they close. They closing up all of them, but they ain't closing that one yet.
Right.
I don't know. I
They
guess-
trying hard for Sumner.
So
they trying hard.
man, that's Sumner.
Sumner?
All my family went to Sumner. Like my mom, them everybody went to Sumner, and I was the first one to break that chain and go to Sodan.
Okay.
So it's like a little family rivalry during homecoming time and
Of
all that other silly
course.
shit.
Of
Because
course.
Sumner, they think they're fucking college.
Well, you know,
Oh,
some
cut
of
out.
them old enough.
You didn't go to none. Neither
Nah,
one
I
of
ain't
them.
talking about that.
Oh, okay.
Where'd you go to high school?
McClure and,
You one of
and
kids.
Berkeley
I can do that. Yeah,
for a bit.
yeah, I can do
Those
that
look like-
exactly.
Yeah.
And I went to Riverview and Hazelwood Central. Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know,
County
when it was convenient, I went to
County
school.
Cats.
Went to school.
County Cats.
So, what would you want out of saying everything that you said? What would you want your legacy to be? You think of Chris Klevah Shaw.
I would want it to be that I was a devoted father, 1, a great human being, 2, and a creative genius, 3.
I agree.
Yeah.
Those are my 3 things.
I can
Like I said, the main thing, like I said, the devoted father. That's definitely numero uno, and then everything else from there.
Okay. Makes sense.
I love it. I love it.
Makes sense.
So, what do your girls think of you? When I say that, I mean like all the things you do. Like, Daddy, you lame. Don't do that. Don't,
No, they
do you
actually
get
be
that?
they be promoting Dad.
Oh, great.
Man, they walk around like my daughter was a cheerleader this year for the first time at Hazelwood East. And she, of course, I had to get her custom. She was custom stuff. She had more than what they had in their little package. So everybody was trying to get this custom stuff she was doing. And how did you get that? My daddy did.
My daddy.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's dope.
My
So
daddy.
no, they don't think that. My youngest wants to do music, so she has songs and stuff like that.
Cool.
My oldest wants to do hair, open her own salon. She coded at 13 already when it comes to the braiding.
Right.
It's on my page. Check it out. She braided her own hair, braided her little sister. It saves me a lot of money.
Hell yeah.
nice.
Easily.
You definitely have a influence, if
Yeah.
not the heavier
And that's what's
influence
supposed to be. Father's
in their
supposed to be there
lives.
for them. When I started raising my daughter, my main goal was keep her off the pole. That was my shit.
Yeah.
Because my daughter was tall, very busty, very attractive, and my thing was her mother was very loose with it, and I didn't want to.
Like Short said,
Yeah.
let Bruce hit it.
Right.
I don't know why that popped in my head.
'Cause
Bars.
he said,
I don't know why that popped in my head.
But yeah, so
keep him off the pole and
yeah,
off
keep
the,
'em
off
off
the
the
track.
and off the stroll.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because I ain't, off the whole tracks.
I wasn't blessed with any biological daughters, but I feel you. I mean, I try to be the major influence in my sons. I have sons' lives, and all of that. You can see that as they grow, what your influence was in the beginning, because then they start branching out. I remember when I used to do that. Yeah, you can see yourself in them. That's great. That's great. So congratulations on that, because that's the teen years are hard.
Oh yeah, I can tell that already. She's gonna be 14 this month, so I already can see the whole shift.
Oh, she'll be all right.
No, I think she will be.
Yeah, because for the most part, because you've been a major influence in her life.
Yeah,
it's
day
not
one.
like you were like
Yeah,
a weekend dad, or you just come around for holidays. You've been dad since day one.
Yeah, since I
and
pulled you
that
out.
matters.
That matters,
That
because they can come to you and ask, "Hey, Dad."
When you're that kind of father, a daughter doesn't want to disappoint dad. They want to.
I do. I have noticed that. I do appreciate that, because I'm not the whole rah 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 yelling and all that other type of shit. I don't do the whoopings and shit. It's conversations. Is how my discipline goes. It's like, you let them know the disappointment through the tone of your voice,
Right.
versus like I said, the yelling and all the other type of shit. It's just they don't get nothing across. I mean, I was a cool, laid back kid, didn't get in a lot of trouble. So when my mama did yell at me, I just used to look like, "Fuck is she yelling for?" Like,
Yeah.
could have literally said this in a calm tone, and I would have did it.
You could have
Right.
texted me.
Right.
Yeah, my kids was the same way. It was a don't want to disappoint mom, and if I was disappointed, it was like that hurt more
Than the actual
than
whooping.
anything. Yeah, so I stopped whooping them like they were about 8 or 9 years.
It's not point fucking throwing my shoulder out trying to do
No,
this.
no,
It's
and then
silly.
you want your children to be able to talk.
Yeah,
When they
articulate yourself.
articulate their feelings when it comes to other people, and they not just striking out or beating ass at school or jumping people, because they got anger in them. But
Yeah,
so
teach out because they mad at mama.
tempted to say something about mama. What are you ringing that bell
That means
for?
this show is just about over. So right about now, we're going to have Klevah with the exclamation point. Tell everyone his socials so people know where to find him and where to get his products that he's offering.
Okay. You can go to my website for one. That's www.whatklevahdoes.com. And then you can find me on all of the social medias: Facebook, Klevah_Shaw, Instagram, Klevah Shaw, Twitter, Klevah Shaw, SoundCloud, Klevah Shaw, I believe, as well. But if you type Klevah in SoundCloud, you should get me. Or I didn't even wear my hoodie today. I got my QR code hoodie that's where you just scan that,
right.
and it goes to everything. So yeah, that's pretty much all of them. But the main thing, you want to find everything. Links are on my website, whatklevahdoes.com.
And that's Klevah with a K.
Yeah, Klevah. What and does spelled the right way, and then Klevah, Klevah.
And you can catch him on a Say Less motherfucking podcast with Billy Chops.
Every Wednesday
Every
night.
Wednesday night.
At 9-ish.
On YouTube.
Thank you.
Facebook Live.
Oh, okay.
Facebook
okay.
Live at 9.
Facebook Live
My
at
bad.
9-ish. And typically the issue
9-ish.
the issue is because my brother is on CPCP time.
Color people, color
He
people time.
comes in.
Nigga time.
Like last week, we ended up starting at like 9:40 type shit, 9:40, 9:50.
Okay, so just 9-ish.
That's why I say 9-ish.
There it is. I'll take 9-ish. I'm like, it's right daddy.
But if you can't catch it live, we do leave it up, so you can definitely watch it the next day.
That's
The
how
live stuff is pretty much for the people who are going to interact and stuff like that. That's the reason why we don't pre-record the show, because a lot of our content comes from the interaction and engagement of the comments.
Right. And if you guys are interested in getting some kind of beats from this young man, hey,
Yeah, holla at me.
holla at Klevah.
Pull up on me.
Pull up on me.
Lord Jesus.
They are not free. I repeat, they
Not-
are not free.
Yeah. So
I
that would
don't-
be-
Give that man
means-
what he wants.
That means you cannot cash at me exposure. You cannot send me exposure. Does not get deposited in my bank account. It does not purchase.
It don't do.
anything for my kids. Or
Word of
myself.
mouth don't either. Don't play
Word of
with it.
mouth don't either, to a grand scheme of things. But your word of mouth after you. Oh, that's old.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
asking.
I'm forget my. This one is the right one, but
The
this
right
one
one,
right
yeah.
here is old.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Funds, money. I'm never gonna ask nobody to do their services and tell them, oh, well, I can give you some exposure on my podcast. Like,
Right.
that's not gonna be the
So,
realm.
so if you ran into a chick, no,
No, and what's funny is no, you cannot pay me in pussy for any of my services.
you read my mind. Like,
I'm just like,
bruh.
no, I don't get pussy. Don't deposit
But are
shit
you gonna
either.
pay her
Right.
for her services? But
It's just gonna make me look at you funny.
yeah, for real.
Yeah, depending on how you look, I might test it out, but you still
See
not
that?
gonna, you still not gonna get the service.
He gonna
See
hit,
that?
but
You're still not getting the track.
And this
or the,
is
or
what
the shirt or
Klevah
anything
does.
else.
this is what Klevah does. He gonna do you, but you ain't gonna get nothing for free.
You ain't getting it for free, bro.
So this episode is episode 22 of the Audio Audacity Podcast. You can check us out on Facebook on Audio Audacity Podcast, YouTube Audio Audacity Podcast, Google, Apple, Anchor, Spotify, Spreaker. You can listen to us.
y'all across the
And
board.
in parting,
Lord.
if you got the gall to do it, we got the audacity,
Audacity.
to
Talk about it.
Check y'all out next week, y'all.
Peace.
There was this guy who became insanely popular. Everybody started following him. He got thousands of likes. One day, he called many of his followers out, accused them of being hypocrites. They got angry, called him an extremist, said he shouldn't be allowed to share his views. They would stop at nothing to shut him up. So they did what they had to do. They nailed him to a cross.
Jesus was silenced. He gets us. All of us. Visit hegetsus.com.
When you invest in a Webster University online or hybrid graduate degree, you're investing in a better career. Find your ideal program and apply today at enroll.webster.edu. That's enroll.webster.edu.